morning, everyone. This is Table for Two with Naomi Nachman on the Nachum Segal Network. Our show is sponsored by Natural and Kosher Cheeses, where quality and flavour matter. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Naomi Nachman, and I'm about all the food all the time. I love food. I love shopping for it, cooking it, eating at restaurants, anything food related. I'm a kosher personal chef. My business is called the Aussie Gourmet. I give cooking classes. I run chop competitions. I just catered a vote for 250 people. Anything with food. Yeah, I had a little bit of bragging in there. It was really cool. So anytime you don't feel like cooking, you can give me a call. And I hope that you will tune in every week to Table for Two on the Nachum Segal Network. And listen to our really exciting guests, because today is 3 super exciting guests. And I want to hear about your experiences too. Remember, we had 2 giveaways. We're going to keep them going for the next couple of weeks. From last week, we had 2 giveaways. Keep going until the middle of July. You can email me at naomi@nachumsegal.com. There's a giveaway for FYI magazine. I actually have a copy here right now. You can win a year's subscription, a $50 value, and over a $300 value to Dr. Rachel Schindler for her Kosher Zone diet. You win a consultation with her and a free week's worth of diet food. So you have to put that in the memo line, Dr. Rachel Schindler. And thank you. We have so many entries for both of those winners. So just both of those raffles. So just keep them coming. It's 1 raffle entry per person. I'm going to put it into you like that. But, you know, spread the word, share the love, and let's get those giveaways. And that's our summer giveaway. What an exciting show that we have here. I have my 3 bestie foodie friends. Esty, my bestie. There you go. Esty Berkowitz, Primetime Parenting. We met early on in the life of Table for Two when she came in with Abby Wallen from Abby Not Too Shabby. And
Ilan Corlin made an appearance.
Right.
It was way early.
Ilan was also on the show? Okay,
yes.
That I can't remember. Sorry, Ilan, we love you. Liz Rubin, it's at least your 3rd time on the show, Kosher Like Me.
I'll come back anytime.
Okay, we love to talk about food. You're on every spring, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And Melinda Strauss from Kitchen Dash Tested, and all kinds of things that we do together. I call her my partner in crime. We do a lot of cooking and get up to fun food adventures together. And today will be no different, because after we're meeting, I just want to tell everyone my daughter's getting married this weekend. Freaking out. I'm so excited. So we actually got together. This is actually, you're hearing this Erev Shabbat. ZK has taken off the earphones because I think I just deafened him. Okay, that was my last screech for the show.
No, it's not.
Yeah, probably not. So the 3 of us got together on a Wednesday, and we are going to go and eat at Russ and Daughters. Yes, it's kosher. There's a kosher one up in the Jewish Museum. So we're going to take our car up the FDR Drive, and we're going to go there for lunch. And I will report back in our show. I'm going to take a 3-week break because it's my daughter's wedding and the summer and all that kind of stuff is going on. So I'm going to take a little break, and we're going to pick up Table for Two again in middle of July. So it's maybe only a little break. So I will report back with the winners of the 2 raffles. But how awesome Russ and Daughters was, because I've actually been there before. Have you guys been there?
Yeah, I've been.
Okay, well, Esty and I went together. We went with Jonathan Margolin.
Cheese tasting, not a full-on.
Yeah, because it was before the Kosher Wine and Food Show,
It was
KFWE.
for me.
So we didn't want
I like to eat slow, you know.
We didn't want to stuff our faces too much. We went with Jonathan Margolin.
Mark
from
Anger was in town.
Tamar from Joy of Kosher,
Yes.
and Jonathan from
Token Scalpel.
Token Scalpel. Yeah, so that was fun. So we're looking forward to going back uptown.
And I have not been yet, so I'm really
Melinda
excited.
is going to be a newbie to that. You know,
treat.
Russ and Daughters actually started off right here on the Lower East Side. It was not under kosher certification, but they have one now in the Jewish Museum, that is. So we're going to go check it out, and we will report back. But we have a really exciting show, because really, when I say these are my bestie foodie friends, not that all the other girls that have come on the show are not, but I just know these guys the longest. And I love all my friends and all my guests. We've had a great time, and we love talking about food together. But I have to share, get the 3 of them together, because we've got a lot going on to talk about. Esty, let's start off with you. We're going to start off. Esty, you had a pretty good adventure about, how long ago was it?
In May.
In May.
Yes.
Can you tell us about that?
I'd be so happy to. I was invited to a social media conference. Very exclusive. You have to get an invitation.
Nice.
And going into it, I have special food needs. I was the only kosher person attending.
How many people attended?
About 200.
Okay.
200.
And where was this event?
Yes, Walt Disney World. Yes, when that invite comes in your inbox, you just say, we're going. You're missing school, we're going.
Sorry, kids, you won't be going to school today. I'll write a note. You're going to Disney World.
Yes, we tried to keep it a surprise, but I just get too excited about these type of things.
And
so
you're
I
also on
couldn't-
social media, so you probably have to shout that out.
Yes, there was a lot of tagging. They did some really fun things, but it was at Walt Disney World at the Yacht Club Resort.
Now, how did you get invited? Like,
I really don't know. I wish I had the answers.
no, I'll tell you because you've got a massive parenting
you.
blog.
Thank
Let's
you.
just say it what it is.
It is Primetime Parenting, which was started 2009, just to kind of be out there as a voice. I thought, hey, who's an older parent having kids, totally moving away from home, from mom, from any sense of family?
Right, because you are from Chicago.
Yes, from Chicago. My husband's from Boston. We settled in New York, and we really didn't have those resources. So we were kind of prime time. You know, we're older. He was already in his 40s. I was 35. Now I realize that's not so old anyway. But we kind of had to do things on our own a lot. So I thought this is a great platform to kind of share those things about, you know, the first baby, strollers, travel, lifestyle, what to wear, you know, what the kids should wear. So it became a platform for me. And in addition to that, of course, I keep kosher. So if you look at Primetime Parenting, you don't know off the bat that, oh, she's a kosher, Orthodox, shaitel-wearing, skirt-wearing woman. So when I do get invited to events, I have to say, you know, by the way, will you have kosher food? Or by the way, if it's Shabbos, under the radar. And you can imagine how hard that is. But we actually managed to do that. And I share it on my blog, you know, not only the kosher accommodations that were made for us at Walt Disney World, which was phenomenal. You know, right off from the initial, like, sign this, do you have dietary needs right off the bat? I had phone calls from the chef at the Yacht Club personally to make sure what meals I needed, what I wanted to have. Because I don't know who's been to Walt Disney World recently, but you can, within the parks, there are quick service
Yeah.
locations. Mm-hmm. And
I was
a
there
lunch-
about 3 years ago,
Yeah.
and we went into Tomorrowland, and we got frozen meals. You stood online with everyone else, and you
Absolutely.
they give you, say, I'm here to order kosher, and they
Yes.
gave you
Yeah,
four.
the hot dogs are really good.
Oh my gosh,
I'm
my
not gonna
kids
lie.
love the hot dogs.
It's like a
Love
bagel
the
dog.
hot dogs.
Okay, can I just say one thing though? When you ordered pizza, they covered two needs: kosher and gluten free.
Yes.
I don't want a gluten free pizza.
Was it gluten free?
It
was
is
gluten free.
Oh, my kids
so
loved it. I
just
didn't ask.
no. So
I
I didn't
know.
like. I want a pizza with dough because I'm not gluten free. And then if I wanted a gluten free option, there could have been a gluten free option. But you know,
I know. You know,
I
my
said,
kids
but-
love it too. My son is even craving that pizza when we're back home. Tell me about it.
The mac and cheese too. I'm sorry, I like
Oh,
it a
we
lot.
didn't even, that wasn't on the menu that week.
Yeah,
Each place,
It changes.
Each
Each
place
park.
you go to, and the hotels also have different foods. So
Exactly.
you couldn't. Sometimes you call ahead, and they'll actually have it ready for you, so you don't have to sit around and wait for like 45 minutes. Yeah,
It's really fantastic. And not only that, but, you know, depending on what we did, we had a brunch Sunday, Mother's Day. They had a big, beautiful brunch.
did your kids come?
Yes.
Your whole family went?
Yes. This year I took the whole family. And it was so phenomenal. Last year I took my mother because I was actually invited last year as well. But this year I took my husband. It was so nice. You don't even know, the week before he had a kidney stone. Like,
never.
hello.
Poor
The
Avi.
doctor said, we'll have you in Las Vegas. I said, no, it's Disney World. Okay, wherever we're going to have you. Thank God. All the things, and I share this in the blog as well, how like 1 minute you just don't know. You have this plan and something gets in the way. It was Erev.
Man tracht and
Janto.
Gott lacht.
It
There
was
you
such,
go.
every minute of the way we're like,
That's the truth.
Yiddish.
oh, can you translate for our listeners who may not know
Yeah,
that?
you all know what that means.
I do.
You plan and
Yes.
God just laughs.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And
It has his own mind. So
Absolutely.
It should be a good laugh that he gives you something. A good alternative route.
Absolutely.
But
But we were so happy as a family to be there and had a wonderful time and just so grateful for the chef. Now, I'll just have you know, Friday morning, the conference, they had, I don't know if anyone saw my Instagram, the most amazing frozen themed dessert, cookies, and the chefs were making fresh, I don't know what things. It's all on my Instagram. And I'm like, is that kosher? The M&Ms were kosher, right? And then the chef came out, nice guy from Corona. I'm sorry, I can't remember his name, but I'll put it in the
Corona,
blog.
New York.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's
cool.
like, hey, I'm from New York.
Don't even know where that is.
Yeah, Queens.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's like, you know, I deal with kosher all the time. In fact, after this conference, Guardian Insurance is coming, and they're making a whole tent behind this, right next to it, with a kosher kitchen because so many Guardian insurance people are kosher. I was, what? Are you kidding me? So then I ran into them in the hall. You know, they're from Williamsburg, and they combined with Aroma Catering out of Florida. The beautiful tent. I have a live feed. I went in there and
I saw.
yes, and I was just so touched by that, and I wanted to eat their food so badly too. But I'm just so happy that this chef was so nice during this wonderful dessert. I couldn't touch anything. He's like, you know what? I have tofuti or I have rice stream. Win. He got it. Plastic dish. He knew I added my M&Ms that were kosher. I was fine, you know. But I like that the chefs are really well educated. And they really go through hoops. And every event I went to, we went to Animal Kingdom to see special behind the scenes things. Like the
cool.
Tree of Life now, there's a visual show that you can watch at night. There were fireworks. It was endless, but there was always something for me. And I'm just so grateful for that. And it's not just for me. It could be gluten, people with gluten allergies, dairy, you know, and it's just so nice to know that such a big place, you know, can really reach out and help us. And we actually sent a crock pot to the hotel, so we were able to make cholent. And we
That
took...
is hilarious.
Gotta have cholent on Shabbos,
we
right?
did. We had cholent.
I'm cracking
up. No, I'm serious. I had a whole suitcase with frozen meat. It turns out I forgot the barbecue sauce, so we took Go-Go Squeeze and a can of Coke.
What's Go-Go Squeeze?
Yeah,
So those are those
Applesauce?
OU, like little squishy, like kids take them to school, like applesauce, apple mango,
Okay,
OU,
yeah.
organic,
I didn't even know.
certified.
Costco sells them in bulk.
Oh, yeah.
You buy them in
They're
bulk.
great packages. They're great.
Okay, I'm going to check it
Put
out.
it in there, apple mango. It came out delicious.
You put that...
Mango and Coke in your chili?
Yes.
That's hilarious.
Go
Yeah,
figure.
this is going to like...
Okay.
There's a
it's-
recipe cooking here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know, there's more to it than that. But we
Yeah.
had our bagels and we had our cream cheese and our lox. But, you know...
Because
I
they
covered
had
it-
that for you, or you...
No, I brought it down in a suitcase.
Uh-huh.
I listened to you guys. Come on. Especially you taking meat from Australia. How do you do that?
I know, right? You just freeze it. It freezes underneath the suitcase.
I didn't know the plane underneath was so cold. So now, you know, I'm like not afraid to freeze and go. So again, just food. And we had a wonderful, wonderful time. So I think families who are worried about food can take a suitcase of stuff, no problem. And, you know, when you stay at these hotels, I actually check before. I'm like, is it okay if I plug in a crock pot? Like, are you guys okay with that? They're like, yeah,
I'm
okay.
impressed you asked. I would have just done it.
I got a little worried with the electrical. I didn't want to be the one that, like, you know, the lights went out.
Burned
'cause
down
the girl
the-
in the room 503.
Burn down Disney World. Ay, ay, ay.
Oh, my goodness. So, yes. So, it was so phenomenal, and I hope we can go back again.
So how does one contact Disney in advance to get this information on
question.
their
Good
books?
question,
And do-
Liz.
And do they keep a history of families? Like some restaurants keep a history, and they have your name, and they know that you are gluten intolerant.
Do you want to sit here, Liz?
Just wondering.
Just
because,
joking.
You know, I
It
mean,
was
you
a very
must-
good
you
question.
must wanna
Question.
let
I
people
love.
know
I
heads
love
up.
what this is a discuss. This is like the View where we just all
Yes.
talk.
Yes.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
like our pre-lunch.
Yeah, pre-lunch.
There is a phone number, 407, I want to say dining at Disney, but it's up on my blog because
Yeah.
I put a whole post called Kosher Dining at Disney up where you can go to my post and find out within each park where you can go to get a
That's
kosher meal.
fantastic
Fantastic.
because quite often, you know, now it's end of June and people are planning their July. The August is a big break now between the end of camp and school. Which starts at Labor Day. So you're always trying to think of what to do with the kids, and Disney's always a great choice. Actually, it's a little bit cheaper to go to Florida at the end of the summer.
It's because it's so hot.
because it's hot. Mel hates the heat.
Mel's not going to Florida in August.
yeah.
Staying back with you.
Yeah, no, so I don't mind going because
I don't either.
I'm Australian. Bring it on. I love heat. But it's great to go. Unfortunately, like in the middle of the day, like 1 o'clock, no matter what happens, the skies just open up and rain down for like 20 minutes. You run for cover in Disney, and then I've done it a lot, and then you kind of dry off very quickly because it's so hot again, and the cycle continues.
does.
But when it rains, we always know that it's going to be around. We're going to try plan lunch around that, so we go into that Tomorrowland for cover.
Oh, yeah.
And we order our kosher
I
hot
think it's called
dogs.
Cosmic Rays.
Cosmic, yeah, I can picture it.
Tomorrowland, me too.
Yeah,
And
I love
found
that.
in Epcot, actually something I found in Epcot at the Moroccan country.
Oh, yeah?
Exhibit a lot of kosher products.
that's
Elite,
nice. Oh, I saw
Galil,
that. That's right.
Like,
Oh,
there's
it's like
stuff-
Israel,
Yes.
Mediterranean.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And I did hear that they only have, like, sometimes they only use the kosher meat there. Now, look, would I have somebody prepare my meal there? That's a question. And ask your local rep. But they said that because of their standards, that they only have either kosher meat. They can get it if you talk to the chef.
Interesting.
But I thought it was an interesting fact I'd never heard about.
Yeah,
before.
that's cool. I happen to love Epcot Center. I like
Epcot was
Magic Kingdom,
phenomenal.
and you didn't like it.
Animal Kingdom's my favorite. For,
Okay.
you know.
Yeah, the last time I went was I can't remember, a year and a half ago, and I went just with Svi and I for the day. We were at a conference. He finished his conference, and we had one day left, so let's go to Epcot. We actually bought a pass that you can go to different.
Oh, the park hopper.
The park hopper. They never used to
smart.
have that. Yeah,
That's-
Disney can rake in some more money. We spent more than I wanted to spend, but went to the
created
highlights.
memories. You're
We
storyteller.
created memories,
That's what
and
it's
we
about.
park hopped to the highlights of each park.
Isn't that great,
And it was
though?
awesome. And I have to worry about food because we're at this conference, and I didn't, I couldn't run to Gourmet Glad and pack stuff and all that so we just ate the kosher food there. It was great.
It's not bad. And Hollywood Studios actually is really fun now. They have all the Star Wars stuff going on, and we went to the ABC commissary, like for lunch and dinner. So we right there you could get your kosher meals.
Right.
And I wish they had a log. They don't. But again, they do have the phone number. They're very responsive.
You could write to them and suggest that.
I think we should suggest that.
That's
if they know by
Should be
family.
keeping, they should be keeping a history. Why
There
wouldn't
are
they?
people who go back yearly. Really, I'm not one of them, but there are people who every single winter break
Right, they go.
bring their family and they go. It would
I've
definitely
been-
be
I've
convenient.
been a
Easy
lot.
to keep a history, right? I mean, it's nothing.
I've been a lot to Disney. I am obsessed with Disney. Obsessed
I mean,
with
I have
Disney.
friends who are kosher and gluten free. Why wouldn't they know that? They should.
Right. Well, that pizza would be perfect for it.
Perfect.
But you know what?
Ask my
Also,
son, he likes it.
cruises have a
Right, the
very
Disney-
large
Disney cruises.
or even regular. I went Royal Caribbean. They had prepackaged meals.
I believe
when you
it's
wa-
Weberman's. I'm
Weberman's.
sure you guys.
They
are
were not the
familiar.
best. I'll be really honest. They were really.
After a few days.
Just want to take a kosher cruise then, because to me it's like you go on a cruise and you want to eat everything. I just want to go on a cruise and stuff my face. Like I want to gain 20 pounds on a
Because
cruise
we're
in
food-
3 days.
But wait, I did that over Pesach. I had Simon Albacher from Ram Caterers. He owns Ram Caterers, and I spent the last 2 years with him for Pesach, and I said, Simon, before we all went down, before I went down, we the Nachmans went, and I said, and I had him here on table for two. I said, try to describe to my listenership what a Pesach at your program's like, and he
Amazing.
goes, imagine that it's a ship that's docked at a hotel, and you get to eat everything you want on Earth, as much as you want, and drink. It's just like a floating ship that's like
Thanks.
there in the
don't
heart
have
of
to worry about the
Miami.
waves.
And it was everything
Thank God.
imaginable, and it was.
Oh, from
Yeah,
the
so-
pictures, it
Oh,
looked
we-
phenomenal.
yeah,
I
we
was, like,
followed your pictures.
salivating.
Yeah. So
Seriously salivating.
that's what it's like. You go to kosher cruise, it's really just going like a Pesach
Well,
program.
let's do a
I'm okay
bloggers
with that.
cruise on a kosher cruise.
yeah.
Do it.
Can we reach out to someone? A Royal Caribbean, are you listening? How about you invite like 10 of the most influential kosher bloggers
Super great
and
idea.
wine and dine us? Right? Let's do
I
that.
love that
Do
idea.
it.
Let's
Anybody
share
want
it.
to come? And we'll all go together.
Share
Yeah.
everything, pictures, hashtag. We'll create a unique hashtag.
Yeah, kosher cruising.
Fantastic. Esty
We're
will
there.
be directing all the social media for us.
Can I be Julie from the Love Boat?
Where are we going?
I don't know.
Most importantly.
I don't really care. I just want to be on the boat and eat
Me
good
too.
food.
Me
Yeah,
too.
with my friends.
Fresh.
With my
seafood,
friends.
Salads. I would love it.
Caribbean, Greece. I'm in for Greece.
Greece, yeah.
guys.
But Greece. I'd like to go to
Once
Greece.
we're getting demanding, we might as well
Yeah,
just make
we
a
may as
list,
well go
right?
that-
Yeah, they
that
can
part
just
of
laugh
Europe.
at us
Why
and
not?
hit delete on that email. There's crazy kosher food bloggers. But we're excited about what we do, and let's talk to our new food blogger. Well, she's not a new food
No.
blogger. A newly designed website because
yeah.
Liz has shared with me right before she was about to release her updated website, and it was gorgeous and
Thank
modern,
you.
Beautiful.
And
Thank you.
so Liz
So-
Rubin has been on the show before. She's kosher like me, so welcome back.
Thank you. Well, so I started writing over 5 years ago, and
Can't believe it's 5
I
years.
know. And so it just seemed really clear to me that it was time to redesign. And the blog just looked tired to me. And also, I didn't have a proper index, which was driving me crazy. And I'm sure it was driving my readers crazy too, because I write restaurant reviews, I write recipes, I write about events, I write about trips that I take. I write about lots of things. So without an index, it really wasn't working. It was overdue. And now it's beautiful. I used a designer from Connecticut who has since moved to Madison, Wisconsin. I used a tech guy from Queens, and we're all good. So, And now it reflects my aesthetic more.
Yeah, I think it reflects you. It's clean lines, fresh.
Happy with it. Yeah.
It looks really beautiful.
Thank you.
Look, quite a lot of vegetarian not restaurant, but recipes. I'm tongue tied today.
Yeah.
Recipes on your website.
Yeah.
I feel like,
I mean, we eat everything at home in our kosher kitchen, but we eat vegetarian when we're out.
right.
So, I feel very inspired by what's going on in the vegetarian and vegan world.
I love it.
Yeah, and I feel like, the kosher world is finally catching up. I feel like there are some fantastic kosher restaurants that are vegetarian and vegan now. And although I'm not, we do lean that way.
Right.
And, of course, anything vegan is automatically parv, so that's really
Yeah.
exciting. And so all these, vegan bakers and writers who are writing about desserts that are vegan, I don't mind that there aren't eggs in there. I really am excited that there's no dairy in there. So it makes everything a whole lot more exciting, I think,
Right.
in the kosher world.
You know what you have taught me a lot about fresh, healthy. I was already very into,
Yeah.
but fresh ingredients and
Local and-
local, fresh and local. That's what I learned from Liz. Local.
I'm so excited.
No, I really did. And last
Well, that's
week,
because you came to my farmer's market with
right,
me.
your
so-
farmers
we gotta talk about
market.
that.
Yeah,
Right.
we
Right.
went last. The four of us got together and we went to Liz's farmers market in Westport, Connecticut. Since then, I have really become a big. You guys. I know I say it all the time, but I'm a big fan of the farmers market, farm to table. You see all my hashtags. And last week I was
Right.
at the farmers market at Union Square. It was a gorgeous day, and I went because why not take use of the sunshine?
Right.
And I joined a CSA.
I know. I read that. I'm so excited. I'm very proud of you.
I am obsessed, but it's really dirty. You have to wash those
really
vegetables
dirty, and it's
well.
really challenging.
It's challenging. I've said this before. Forget bugs and kashrut. Of course, we don't want to eat bugs because they're not kosher, but we don't want to eat dirt and bugs because it's disgusting.
Right? Who would want to?
Who would want to? Any case. So
No.
people are like, do you check that? Of course you check it because who wants to eat dirt and bugs? Ugh. But I take the time. It comes to me on Tuesdays.
Oh, what a great day!
Yeah, it's a good day because I use the fresher things like arugula earlier on in the week and the more substantial.
You know that you
later on
can
in the week.
revive those greens, right? Like if you plunge
Wet
them
paper
into
towel.
No, revive them by Friday if you're making it for dinner. Just put them in I put ice in my water in a big bowl, so I'm shocking it, and it becomes very, very perky again.
Oh, I like that.
Never tried that.
I'm gonna try.
I shock all my greens. I shock a lot of people, but I shock my greens in
love it.
particular.
No, I love it.
You can revive those greens.
There was
yeah.
tot soy. I learned about tot soy from you from last year. That's in.
Does your CSA include recipes?
There's a email that comes.
Fantastic.
Golden Earthworm. Guys, if you want to
Oh,
join,
great.
sign up now for next year. It's amazing. Garlic scapes, lots of greens now. Arugula, tot soy, a bok choy.
You have to really you
Swiss
have
chard.
to get very creative with a CSA. That's the thing, is it's a very large commitment, but it's a beautiful thing to do for your farmers. And in my area, the farmers have been doing lots of different things to help themselves to get money up front. So with a CSA, you pay money up front and you get a weekly delivery bag or boxes of whatever they're harvesting. And you don't choose.
This is explaining what a CSA is.
Right, so you don't choose. Because we are moving around a lot, I can't really commit to a CSA, but what my favorite organic farmer, and we might have to visit her when you come back to Connecticut.
I'd love to do that.
Yeah, what she has done is called cash crop. So she asks for money up front, and that means so she had different denominations, 75, 150, 250. That money is good for a 6-month period, which is approximately the whole growing period in Connecticut. And then it's just a charge. It's just a house charge. So every time I go to her booth at the farmer's market or I go to her farm and I pick up what I need, I have a house credit. I have a house charge, and she just deducts it. And she gives you extra bonus dollars. So I bought the highest price because $250 from a farm is not really that much. I mean, I can go through that in a couple of months. So for $250, she throws in an extra $20 worth of
Oh, that's very nice.
stuff from her farm. So there are other ways that you can support your local farms. CSA is one. Ask your farmers if they have cash crop programs. And also then I don't even have to carry money to the farmer's market. I'm like Mrs. Kennedy. No, Mrs. Rockefeller. You know, I don't even have to carry my bag for my stuff. I don't have to carry my money.
Yeah, but you have to. One thing they're very into recycling, so you have to bring your own bags.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So I bring my own bag.
Where I live, we banned plastic bags where I live. My town, in Westport, Connecticut, a very good friend of mine initiated this.
Australia also.
Yeah, no
Let's get that at Gourmet Glot, huh, guys?
I know, but those yellow
Can you
bags,
imagine?
those yellow bags are, people see them on Rehov Yafo in Israel, the yellow Gourmet Glot bags. They are the 5 towns attaché case.
Yeah,
Somebody
it's not
once
good.
coined it.
I don't like
It's
it.
not
I'm
good.
sorry.
I try to recycle mine,
Yeah.
use them as garbage bin
Always.
liners. But
We have piles of them because we reuse them, but they put like one thing in a bag, so it's you're waiting, you know. So and it's funny because in Seattle, where my family's from, they also ban the bag. You can pay for them, but nobody wants to do that. So everybody has just a million reusable bags in their truck.
Just a minor fee, like
Yeah.
whatever they charge you, like 3 cents or 5 cents per bag is
It adds
enough to
up.
deter you
Yes.
from forgetting your reusable bags, which is a really great thing.
And they keep tons in the trunks of their cars. And I actually do it now in New York. And I don't do it at Gourmet Glot because they look at me like I'm crazy. I'm not going to lie. But if I go to Trader Joe's, even though it's in New York, I always feel like I'm back in Seattle because
Yeah.
they're so nice there. And I bring all my reusable bags in. And
I do want to, like, you know, I do a lot of work with Gourmet Glot, and I do really
love
want to
them.
push them.
Yes.
That would
to,
be a
to
great.
do
that
a
would be
big yellow tote bag.
yeah, perfect.
A big
be
yellow
great.
tote
Oh, what
bag
a great
with
idea, 'cause
Gourmet
yellow
Glot
is their
logo.
color.
Because yellow is their, like, totally their brand color. So I'm gonna.
Talk to
I
the
am
people.
working on that, Yoli. And Khani. I'm
Gourmet
gonna be
Glot, you're
coming-
listening. I know you're out
So
there.
I wanted to mention something else to you, though, because you said that in some way I influenced you to think about buying what's seasonal as you're preparing your meals for the week. So a few years ago, when I started writing, I really stopped planning my meals. I don't plan my meals anymore. I plan, like, if I have to take chicken out of the freezer, I do think that thought. And I do it, but you know, before Shabbat, my farmer's market is on a Thursday, which is really fantastic.
It's
It's even better. I know.
actually wish my CSA
I know.
was the Thursday.
It's
That
okay.
would be
I can
better.
help you to prolong the life of
Right, no,
all
it's
of
good.
us.
It's
Yeah,
good.
now we
Gotta
know.
shop
Shop
the
the
veggies.
Now you know. But anyway, what I was going to say is that what we found, what I have found from my readers is that they love reading about my farmer's market adventures. So what that means is, like, who are the vendors that I'm visiting with, and what do I talk to them about, and what kinds of recipes do I develop as a result of what's growing that week. So in Connecticut, there really are very few, if any, programs that are doing cooking classes, kosher, farm to table, seasonal cooking classes. So my big news.
Okay, we're waiting for it. Do we need the drum roll?
It's funny. Connecticut is just a funny place, because there are tons and tons of people who are kosher and kosher like me, which is more like the conservative Jewish community. But we have probably 3 kosher restaurants in the whole
Right.
state.
Deanie.
Yeah, so Deanie Klein.
She did her pop up last week.
Right. No, Deanie's pop. Oh, yeah. Oh, that was last week.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
It was-
13.
So,
It was amazing, of course. I could not go because it's my daughter's wedding. There was too much going on.
yeah, so incredible. So, I have a very close friend who's been writing for me for a number of years, and her name is Melissa Roberts, and
Okay.
she was an editor at Gourmet Magazine for years. She's a professionally trained chef, and together we're going to start doing farm-to-table seasonal Jewish cooking classes.
Going.
They will
yeah.
be
love it.
kosher. We'll be using my kitchen, which is a kosher kitchen. And so what does that mean? It means, like, I recently wrote a post about savory kugel for the Nasher.
Right.
It means that when it's time, when we're all starting to think about kugel, if it's like we're approaching breakfast after Yom Kippur, or if we're thinking about what to make for Sukkot, we really want people to be thinking about what's growing and how to use those ingredients. I mean, it's no mistake that we associate apple cake with Rosh Hashanah, because Rosh Hashanah is apple season.
Literally, it's apple season.
It is apple season. So, if you make apple cake for Rosh Hashanah, you're baking seasonally. But beyond apple cake for Rosh Hashanah, potato kugel, things like that. Well, for the Polish Jews, I mean, there were potatoes all the time. That was sort of like the only thing, in a way. Not really, but, there were a lot of potatoes. So we want to help people to expand their repertoire of how to cook seasonally.
With using seasonal.
With local ingredients, both for the holidays and for Shabbat and for everyday life. So Melissa and I are about to start doing that. We're really excited.
That is phenomenal. We need.
We'll let you know.
We need to know what to do. Some of the stuff that comes, and I'm like,
Yes.
like I never really
Tapsai.
cooked Swiss. Well, that I eat raw.
Swiss chard. This is
Swiss chard.
one of my most favorite things.
So
I'm growing it now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
She's so excited.
Yeah.
So like I saute it up, but I had to learn how to use Swiss chard when I first got it.
So
like
Swiss
maybe
chard,
2 years ago.
Swiss chard has a little bit of sweetness to it. And Swiss chard is really fantastic in a frittata, right? Now you're buying local eggs at your farmer's market or you're getting them in your CSA.
I don't actually get them in my CSA. Well, I haven't got them yet in my CSA, but when I was at farmer's market last week at Union Square, I bought a dozen eggs for $6.
Yes, that's what they cost.
Yeah, that's it.
That's what they cost.
I remember from the market.
Yeah, so I buy a couple dozen at a time, and now I'm growing spinach and rainbow chard.
I love it.
pretty.
It looks so pretty. But when you saute it, it all goes the same color in any case.
Yes, and not only that, but the red in the rainbow chard. So rainbow chard is green, yellow, and red. The red will stain everything. So if you make something, I don't know what it would be. Like, let's say you have beautiful pasta and you don't want it to turn pink, don't use the red chard.
Oh, okay.
Good to know.
But I might like that color pink in my
Well, I was
pasta.
going to say, so I use it in frittata all the time, which is, an egg dish that I make in my cast iron pan. And I'm happy if it all turns kind of golden red. It's pretty.
Yeah, I think that's
But
awesome.
I have to say something
good.
before you move on to Melinda. I
Okay.
have a little gift for you.
Oh my God, I'm getting a present?
So I don't know, they kind of suffered on the Metro North train, but these are from my garden, and these are nasturtium. And these are edible flowers. You know what they are. Do you all know what they are?
Yes,
I'm
can you,
learning.
can you
I'm
do it to our
learning.
listeners? Let's listening.
Yeah,
Esti's our listener right now.
So they come in all different colors. They're bright yellow and bright orange and pale orange, and hopefully the very, very deep red will come up soon. And they're edible. You need to wash them, like you need to wash everything because we don't eat bugs. And then they are really peppery. So I just pluck this gorgeous part off, and it's got this really picturesque, delicate stem and curve, and you just place them on your dishes, a potato salad or a green salad, and if people don't like them, then they don't have to eat them. But I do recommend eating them because they're really delicious and peppery, like almost like arugula peppery. So this is a little.
Oh, thank you so
If
much.
you're looking a little bit tired, you're going to shock them.
I'm going to shock them.
There you go.
And you're going to perk them up.
Okay. I like that. Do you know what happened last week on the show?
Hey, Yvonne.
Gotta go
Thank
closer.
you. I'm going to... Can you take a picture of me holding them up? Because we do a lot of
Sure.
behind the scenes photos
Sure.
of Table for Two. So I'm just going to smile for the camera
love it.
while
I
we
just-
do that.
Sorry.
Okay.
They're gonna
All
be
right. 1,
revived.
2,
No
3.
worries.
Prachim. It's almost like... Are we good? A shovel what post. Okay. So you know what happened last week? When I did the show, I had gone to the farmer's market first, and I got some wasabi microgreens for my very good friend Albert Bijou from the executive chef at the coffee bar.
Beautiful.
And I ate some microgreens, wasabi microgreens
boy.
on the air.
I have that.
My mouth was on fire.
And it
Did
was
you guys see that? I was like, bleh.
really spicy, right?
it was too much for me.
Hello, wasabi. It's
I know.
They
I'm
mean
an
what they
idiot.
say. I wonder
But
what
we
it's
have
gonna do with
chocolate mints. I have chocolate mints as well. So that was kind of. I had to have a bit of Rachel Schindler's
Delicious.
water
Wash it
and
down.
yeah, I was like hilarious. But yeah, so I'm going to ask Liz to do our What's for Dinner segment, sponsored by our friends at Gourmet Glatt.
Oh, fantastic.
Okay, and this is on your website, kosherlikeme.com.
It is on my website.
So you're going to have a look at her gorgeous website and her fabulous recipes, and she does her own photography.
I do.
So-
I do. Sometimes I bring a photographer with me. I did a farm visit yesterday up in Goshen, New York, and I brought a photographer with me because sometimes I can't walk, avoid the cow poopy, do the interview.
She said, put on your boots.
Put on
You're
the- yeah.
fine.
But anyway, so yes, but I do my own photography, and I give credit to anyone who is.
That's very nice.
Of course you do.
Of course, we give credit.
Important.
So
Anyway,
our What's for Dinner segment, sponsored by our friends at Gourmet Glatt, given by Riz Liz Riven from kosherlikeme.com.
Thank you. So one of the recipes that I really love is a lemony white bean dip that I posted recently. In the search bar, you can just put in white bean dip or lemony white bean dip. And I love tahina as much as anyone, tahini to some people, but we speak Hebrew, so it's tahina.
Yeah, her husband is Israeli.
But tahina is very high in fat. It's very good fat, but it's fattening. So for those of us who are watching it, I wanted to make a bean dip that was just lemony, a little garlicky. You take a can of white cannellini beans, drain them, shake the water out, throw them into your food processor, squeeze some lemon on it, squeeze a little bit of garlic. I like to keep this one mild, like one clove of
Could you
garlic.
use a garlic scape?
Yes, you can. I've done hummus with garlic scapes, and this is really a lot like hummus, except that we're keeping the tahina out of it, just for the calorie reduction, and just give it a whiz in your food processor. My post that I wrote about this, I served this in what I call nature spoons, which are endive leaves or endive leaves, but it's also a fantastic sandwich spread. And it lasts for a couple of days in the fridge. The lemon helps to preserve it, so you can make it in advance. It gets better as it sits. Give it 2 or 3 days in the refrigerator, and it'll still be great. So
That sounds divine.
lemony, what do I call this? Lemony bean dip.
Lemony bean dip brought to you by Gourmet Glatt. This is Table for Two with Naomi Nachman on the Nachum Segal Network. Our show is sponsored by Natural and Kosher, when quality and flavour matter. We are also heard on Arut Sheva English Radio. So it's a very exciting time for the food people. There's lots going on all the time, and getting together with friends and talking about food and eating food. And we get to write about food. I get to talk about it a lot. So I have, you'll quite often see me with Melinda on our food adventures. We are neighbours as well. That makes it much easier to go on food adventures together, as well as very good friends. You'll hear me hashtag her partner in crime. We do I call it a melfie, a selfie with a selfie with Melinda.
Would the term blogger wife be appropriate here?
Yeah, I don't know. Justin and Svi already think we're crazy. Svi, my husband,
Everyone
Justin,
has
her
it.
husband. Yeah, they
Everyone's
think.
doing it.
It's very cute.
No, it's
Now-
actually a term. Hashtag
It's a real
blogger.
term?
It is.
What's it called?
Blogger wife. Like work wife, blogger wife.
Okay.
You go together.
Yeah, I have to tell
Yes,
you.
ma'am. I'm
Yesterday, somebody goes, "Do you and Melinda do a lot of stuff together? Because you're always posting stuff together." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Yes," but my daughter knew
a
that
beautiful thing.
Melinda's a lot of cooking with me at my house, and my daughter the other day goes, I think Melinda, she told me that she thought Melinda was in our house, even though she was still in bed, because she's a teenager who's finished high school already and had one more region to take, which I think was last week. But at the time, she was like checking her Snapchat account, and she sees Melinda posting from our house on Snapchat.
And she taught me Snapchat, by the way, your
Gabi.
daughter. Don't forget.
Shout out to Gabi.
Yeah.
So,
Or maybe we could do a group session.
yeah, I need.
Extra money.
I'm posting it. I'm always posting it on Snapchat now.
Yeah, Gabi told me she got
love
you
it.
addicted.
Oh my gosh, it is so much fun, you guys. It's crazy.
Will you teach us at lunch?
11-year-olds know it better than I do.
Well, I had a. How old was? How old is
17.
Gabi? 17-year-old.
So,
She knows, yeah.
Deanie Klein was on here a couple of weeks ago, and we're talking about her amazing.
I stalk her on Snapchat. Shout out to Deanie. Such a Deanie stalker now on Snapchat. I can't help it.
I mean, a follower.
No, I'm okay. You can call me a follower. I like the term stalker, but
Exciting. It's exciting,
she
right?
posts a lot of
Fun
great things.
adventures.
But
Yeah.
she's really funny. Like, she pulls those really funny faces.
Yeah.
I've done
I
a
love
few
it.
things with
Yeah,
Deanie
she's
lately.
funny.
We have a good time together. But Melinda and I get up to a lot of food adventures. What is going on with Kitchen Dash Tested? She gets a shout out at least every other week.
So it's interesting right now because I am doing construction on my house.
Yay!
Some very, very good construction because we are redoing the kitchen.
Yay!
So this is like
New kitchen.
huge. I was in a small kitchen. It was very pretty. I moved into my house and the kitchen looked the way it looked. We just put in a double sink and a double dishwasher for cautious reasons. Everything else stayed the same. So with all that I do, and I started blogging right after I moved into the house because I had my baby girl and she slept all day. I was bored. Literally, that's what happened. I had stopped working because I had her, and I'm like, she's gonna be a lot of work, and then she just slept.
She's the cutest thing ever.
She's adorable. When she's not whining, she is adorable. Shout out
so
to
adorable
Nora.
when they don't
Well,
whine.
girls are like
Seriously.
that in general, right?
I've been told now. I'm starting to learn that because my older one is a boy and he's really not so whiny. So we for years have been talking about maybe redoing the kitchen a little bit, and then it kind of thank God it all came together where we can redo the kitchen and also put in a new master bedroom and 2 sinks in the bathroom. Hallelujah! And. So we moved out of our house and we're living with my in-laws, which so far so good. Everybody keeps
nice.
asking me, "Are you guys okay?"
Have and Maud.
They're amazing.
Full.
I think you have really, like, from what I've seen,
Yeah.
cool in-laws.
They're very easygoing. They're easy to live with. They actually redid their kitchen recently because they had a crazy flood in their kitchen. So insurance covered it, but they got a whole new beautiful kitchen. Perfect
is
timing
gorgeous.
just for me.
Oh, good. So they let you take over? Is that okay?
Basically, they keep making fun of me because I brought bags of stuff with me, and I brought like my own knives because I really prefer using my knives, and my own baking sheets because they don't really have them. My food processor, and then I brought salt. And they're like, "Really, you brought salt with you?" And they keep making fun of me about it. I'm like, I threw it in with everything else. I literally an entire
they-
box of spices.
Are they funky salts?
No, just
Himalayan?
regular salt.
Because I've got like 8 boxes of
No.
salt
Yeah.
from across the world.
Yeah.
I love my
Yeah.
earthy salts.
Yeah, I just threw it in. I wasn't thinking it's the Costco grinder salt. Like really, it's not. It's just salt. And they saw me put it on the counter, which they're like, "Why are you putting anything on the counter?" But I don't care. I'm doing it anyways. And they see me bring out salt and pepper. And
How long will you be there for?
so the contractor's saying 4 months. I'm assuming that means 6.
Right.
And she's going to come to me for Shabbos.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. So yeah, it's a good.
Yom Tovim.
Well, we're there. We usually go there anyways,
Okay.
actually. So it
That kind of
works
worked out. Maybe you'll
Yeah.
want to go away.
Well, we have cousins who live around the corner, and we have friends who live in the area. So we already we went for Shavuot. We went to other people for meals already. So it's been really nice. So it's a good balance of being home, being home and being able to go out. A little break for them too. My father-in-law keeps going road trip. I'm like, you are welcome to take a road trip, and they're really easy. He watches a lot of politics all day, so I missed my cooking shows.
Oh my
I
God,
do.
politics. Ay,
Yeah, I miss watching the Food Network and the Cooking Channel, and I
Use your mobile. And
I
put your-
should.
That's what I do. I watch your show Friday mornings.
and I'll get. I feel like
When I'm in my
Steve.
kitchen, I'm like, what are they up to? And get influence. It's you can do
Nice,
for your mobile.
baby.
anywhere.
Yeah.
I need to do that. I just need to, as I get into the flow of things, it'll all find.
It's all
I'll
new.
settle in. So with my blog right now, I'm actually, I'm gonna as I settle in more, I'll start doing hopefully a few more of my own recipes. But I asked a bunch of bloggers, and anyone who's listening who wants to do a post is welcome to.
That is so nice. If you want to do a post for Mel, she just put that out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Email her at
kitchentested@gmail.com. I love it with the photographs. It's
That'll
great.
be so cute because we could like tag
Yeah.
Table for Two
So
and
great.
Nachum Segal Network, and
Yeah.
you're the
Around
author,
Robin.
and Melinda, and real be a collaborative.
Can you
effort.
remind me of my deadline?
Oh my gosh, yes. I have it written down somewhere.
You
Liz,
have
I
a,
do,
you have
yes.
a spreadsheet somewhere,
I
right?
have, of course,
Okay.
a spreadsheet. I love spreadsheets.
Yeah, of course.
Am I
so,
going to be able to do a blog?
of course.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if I said no to Naomi, guys? Can you imagine?
Can I repurpose a recipe?
Yes, you can.
On your- okay.
Of course. And
Great.
Eitan Bernath actually did fried ice cream.
Yeah,
He was my first guest
He's
post.
the best.
Oh, it looks
Yum.
so
Oh.
good. I was so excited. He takes beautiful photographs,
Yes.
and so he asked, he's like, "Can I do it?" I'm like, "Yes, please." And then he kept asking. He was gonna do originally those churro ice cream bowls.
Yeah.
But there was a little bit of an error. All of a sudden, I get a text. Can I do fried ice cream instead? Well, you think I'm going to say no to fried ice cream? So I posted that, and last week I posted Sarah DeLu, who's myimperfectkitchen.com.
I didn't know
She's
that.
not a kosher blogger. We connected when we both first started our blogs, and we just have always connected with each other, and we
nice.
built our blogs up together. And she actually has a podcast that she does. I wrote about all of it in the post. She did a chocolate fudge popsicle with yogurt, very healthy, with yogurt and cocoa powder. And I wish I could I should just make them on my own now that I have her recipe. And she took beautiful photos. So that went up. And then,
Sounds delicious.
So it's on and off right now. I would like to really get back into cooking my own food, but I have to settle in more.
Enjoy it a little
Yeah.
bit while you have that little bit of a break.
Yeah. And I've been focusing. I started losing weight a little while ago.
I just
I'd
wanted
love
to
talk
mention
about
that. Yeah, I just wanted to mention that. I've had a lot of people present different. I don't like to use the word diets, but I'm going to use the word diet. I'm using the air quote.
health plan.
Health
There you
plans,
go.
change of life, new lifestyle. Call it what you want. Weight loss initiative. How about that? Melinda and I, we get up to lots of food adventures together, but she didn't tell me she was actually doing this. So I noticed that she started shrinking like really rapidly and held it off for now we're pushing 8 months.
Oh, yeah. I started in October.
So
2015.
we're pushing 8-9 months already. And which is great because she's held it off. It's we had Dr. Rachel Schindler last week. She had one approach and they're all great. And we've had Karen Kahn on the show over the years, and of course Beth Warren, who I love to pieces. Love you, Beth. Shout out to you. And everyone is different approaches, but I want to present this great option because I know some family members who have gone on it and have done very nicely.
If I know what you're talking about.
So it's called, the plan is called
Sherry Marks.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Sherry
kicked my tush.
My gosh. Right. Shout out to Sherry.
Sherry kicked my tush and got me started.
She's the first person to mention to me years
Years
ago at Kosher Fest.
When she first came out, when Table for
Shout
Two
out,
started,
Sherry.
she must have been my fifth
early
week.
on.
Yeah.
My
Early
fifth
on.
week, she was like, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
Sherry Marks, sister-in-law of the late great Gil Marks. And she first talked about it. And she was connecting with foodies. So she said, are you Naomi Nachman? And are you Tzvi Nachman's wife? Because I went to college with Tzvi, and then she came on the show. So she was the first person to talk about this Take Shape for Life.
So it was interesting. So we actually roomed with Sherry a few years ago for Kosher Fest. And she was telling me about the program. And back then I'm like, I can never do something. I'm a foodie. I love food. And that's just kind of where my head was, which a lot of people think, which is fine. It's a meal replacement program called Take Shape for Life. And the food is Metafast. So that's why a lot of people hear Metafast and they think my father-in-law did Metafast back in like the 70s where
my
it was
mother
shakes.
did it in the 80s on shakes.
And you had to do it at a doctor's office. And it's very different now. It's meal replacement. There's bars and mashed potatoes and oatmeal and my favorite brownies that Naomi knows I talk about all the time.
Even I've had some.
Oh, they're so good. And like ziti marinara. There's just frozen yogurt. There's a lot of food on the program now. A lot of it's really good. There are a few things that I wouldn't eat because everybody has their own taste.
Exactly.
And I started out just doing it for myself. I signed up with Breezy.
Breezy Beckerman from Breezy.
Who lost
She shrunk.
she had lost at that time like 65 pounds. And I was like, whatever she's doing, I'm doing it. So I signed up. Breezy's a coach and I signed up with her.
What do you mean a coach?
So she's a health coach. So you
Okay,
buy the
a
food
health
through her, and she actually walks you through the program and talks to you every week and really supports you along the way. Because you can do a health plan
those
on your
support
own,
calls.
but boy,
Yeah.
that support helps you, and it helped me. And then my sisters wanted to go on, and my older sister Francine, who is a pastry chef in
Shout out
Seattle,
to you, Francine.
her desserts we actually share desserts. I make some of her stuff, she makes some of mine, and she was like, I'll do it, but only if you're my coach. She wouldn't do it unless I was her health coach. So I'm like, you know what? Both my sisters wanted to do it. My mother wanted to do it. Great. Sign up as a health coach. And it kept me accountable also because I felt like if I'm going to be their health coach, I'm going to learn everything I can about the program. And I did. I watched 1,000 YouTube videos and Googled everything. And
Everything Melinda does, she really researches well. She
love
knows. She delves right
Google
into
is
it.
my best friend. I always tell people to Google. Like, I love when people.
Yes, sorry.
I love when people email me with questions, and I'll give them the answers. But yeah, exactly. My kids, by the way, obsessed with Siri. Just
kids
so we know.
talk to Siri. Just as a side note.
Yeah.
Like my friend told me, her son's like, "Hi, Siri."
Siri
Siri.
instead of Siri. It's the from.
How
Siri.
does it work?
Siri.
Like I held it down.
I have no idea. I've never used it, but my kids really
Hi
use
Siri,
it.
what's your favorite radio network?
Uh-oh.
Table for Two on the Nachum Siegel Network.
Oh, she sounds.
I
Siri
know.
knows everything and it has my voice.
Aussie Siri. Too,
That was
I guess.
weird.
Yeah.
So I kept losing weight. So far I've lost 20 pounds. I'd like to lose another 10. So
Hey.
that's where I'm about to start up again after we have our amazing lunch.
or our wedding in a few days.
Yeah. I might be doing lean and green, which is your protein and vegetables at your wedding. I have to warn you, at your daughter's
nah.
wedding.
Nah.
We'll
No,
see.
you're not.
But anyway, so I really wanted to lose 10 more, but it's amazing. Like looking, you can be happy at any
Pictures.
weight.
Did you do it before?
Oh, I did mine before, and I
God.
I have them saved on my computer, and I love to look at them.
Mine creep up every
And
so
I have-
often in my memories.
I have a
And I'm like,
great
"Ooh."
before and after photo of me in this dress.
Isn't that
It's
great?
stretchy
Good.
dress.
I saw that.
And
Yeah.
it's me before in it. I thought I looked good, and I still think I looked good in it. But then I put it on again, and it's such a different person.
It's
in the
great.
same dress, and it fit both times. So I actually would love to do it again when I lose 10 more. But it's just like that dress that grows with you and shrinks with you, and
Kind of
and
dress we love.
I love
yeah,
those.
and it's a very convenient program, and it's easy for people who are on the go, who work, who are always like in the car. I have a friend who signed up who's always driving. And actually, my contractor who on my house signed up for the program with me because he's a type 2 diabetic and he wants to lose weight, and he needs something convenient. A lot of the programs with bars and meal replacements are very high in carbs. So I have type 1 diabetes, and this program is amazing because it's the most you're going to get is 15 carbs a meal.
Can we just talk about? I think that's really important. The
Sure.
difference between type 1 and type 2.
Oh,
Because
boy.
I don't think
Yes.
no,
A lot
I
of
don't think a
people
lot
don't
of
know.
our listeners know about it, and people just
Okay.
think, "Oh, you're fat or something." And that's
I
why
could
you've
try.
done it. Okay,
Not a nurse over here, I
no,
promise.
but give the overall one. Type 1 is
Well, type 1, you don't produce any insulin. Your pancreas doesn't produce any insulin at all. So
all
there's-
of a sudden.
it just comes out of nowhere. I mean, I don't know the science. They're still working on the science behind it. So it just stopped literally one day. It just stopped working. There's some kind of immune something or other that caused it. They actually don't know what it is yet, which is still shocks me. I'm like, come on, people, let's get on it. But
And how old were you?
I was 18 years old in freshman year at Stern College for Knowledge, YU. Yes, I called Stern College for Knowledge. Don't
They all do
insult that
that.
I went there.
They did that in my day too.
Okay, good. So I got it freshman year of college, and you just, you learn as you go. And so that's type 1. And at the beginning, I had a little bit of insulin left, and then it just slowly stops producing.
Really?
And that's it. So I have none in my body unless I put it there. And with type 2, you have insulin in your body, you produce it, but I don't know what they're called. Like basically like the receptors that take in your insulin to break down the carbohydrates, they don't work.
But that's usually brought on,
There's a few
By-
ways. There's genetics,
It's
so
gen-
age is part of it. Sometimes when you're overweight, it
or
happens.
usually, quite often, it's overweight.
Right. Well, that's where the epidemic in America started with type 2 diabetes, was because of the epidemic of being overweight. So, and it doesn't mean that if you're overweight, you're going to get type 2 diabetes, but it does happen a lot with that. And it's interesting because a lot of what happens out there is that, there's this new American Girl doll and she has a pump, which people with
Really?
type 1 diabetes wear a lot. I have a pump. It's amazing. I want her for myself. My daughter's getting her first one for her birthday. I'm like, can I have one too? And that may happen. I'm not going to lie. And there was an article that came out from this woman who was so upset that they're promoting being overweight, being obese, because they're saying it's okay to be a diabetic. And it was so
no, she
ignorant and
doesn't know her
silly.
And she took the wrong
Exactly.
information.
Yeah.
She just
Well, you should have seen the comments. They were not pretty. I laid my comments out there as
Good.
well. But, there's a big difference between the two types of diseases.
Very
they're both
big.
diabetes. And they're both related to insulin, but they're very different. Like, I'll have type 2 diabetics who ask me for advice. I'm like, I don't really have, I can talk to you about how to eat low carb, but beyond that, I don't really know a lot about how to maintain your type 2 diabetes versus type 1. But my contractor who just wanted low carb, he sees me eat the bars, and I love the bars when, like, I'm in meetings and things like that. Like, if it was time right now, I'd be eating a bar. I got one in my purse.
But I had that chocolate mint bar that you once gave me.
They're good.
Can I tell, so I am famous for people say, how do I stay on the slimmer side? Because, I eat for a living. And I say I have coffee and Tim Tam every morning. And Tim Tam is a double-coated Australian biscuit that I bring in.
And they're good.
And I keep them in the freezer, and I have one every morning. But I actually stopped doing that because I felt like it's probably not so good for me to have a cookie every morning for breakfast. So Mel gave me her chocolate mint Take Shape
crunch
for Light
bar, yeah.
crunch bar, and it's really good. And I actually don't like granola bars. I never was into the Kind bars or the whatever bars that you buy. My
Lara
family
bars,
likes
yeah.
them. I don't need it. I'm not usually hungry between meals, but I do like my coffee with my quote unquote cookie. So this became my cookie instead.
they're so delicious.
And my mouth is watering while we're talking about it, actually.
The peanut butter crunch and the chocolate
butter
mint
ones, I remember.
are
Yeah.
so good. Actually, my husband's uncle did the plan many years ago, and I just was always so amazed. He kept it off. He only ate the bars 5 times
Some
a day
people
because
do
you eat
that.
small meals
You do.
throughout
Right,
the day.
but I'm not even
Yeah.
officially signed up for the diet, but I love these chocolate mint
Right.
bars.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
can we do
convenience
that?
is
Can
key.
people do that? Like,
Oh, if somebody wants to just have a few items, like when I'm not on the plan, I really just order the brownies and the bars, because in between my healthy meals, that's my way of keeping myself on track. and from gaining the weight back. So I maintained by eating those few things that I love. I mean, I can't imagine life without these brownies. I'm telling you guys, they're like a diabetic gets to eat brownies every day. What could be wrong with that?
Go figure, right?
Yeah.
Like it's really unbelievable. But
Yeah.
you're looking really
Thank you.
amazing.
And I became a health coach because of it. And I love signing up people, and they lose weight, and then I get to be a part of that with so many people. I get to be a part of their weight loss program. So it's become a job, which is very cool. I love having like a lot of different jobs: photography and health coach and blogger.
Yeah,
and
Mel does a lot. She wears a lot of hats.
You do.
I love it, yeah.
You do.
And you've
fun.
in the past you've run a food bloggers conference, but we're
Yes.
not sure about. We're waiting for information. We may not. We may take a break. We're not sure what's going on.
Even
Stay
if it's not the
tuned.
conference, there will always be events. I've been talking to we had been planning the conference, and long story, we'll get to it another day. But one of the speakers who we had originally planned for the conference is going to do his own separate event. So even if we're not doing the conference, we're going to be doing events for bloggers to still learn and be educated on all
Right.
the different subjects we will get from that one conference.
You know what I always enjoyed about the conferences, besides the great lectures and on different things that have related to blogging, is the networking. Just,
Yes.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
so and so, and
Yes.
you're so and so, and you're so and so. Like maybe just a network lunch.
Well, I will
without
say-
a thing. Like let's just meet somewhere for lunch that day.
Well,
every-
since we have Esty here, I mean, even though we're not going to have, let's say, the conference this year, right after the conference, and we've done this for many years, and it's a separate event, but we work together to promote our event.
absolutely.
It's Kosher
have-
Feast,
Do we
which
have info?
We're working on things.
Okay, working on things. You and Roberta.
And Eileen Goltz this year has joined our team as
Nice.
a person to discuss. You know of Confidentially Kosher? She just, you know Eileen? You know her if you saw her.
I think we follow each
Been
other.
a friend for a long time of us and very supportive. So we see the value in that whole idea of a face in real life. And with me and my blogging, that's how I got to know so many people, you know, from different.
and people love Kosher Feast and look forward to it.
I know.
And like last year, because Kosher Feast was in Brooklyn and the Kosher Food Bloggers Conference was in the city, they had what was it like?
Doug
it's not a-
Sokoloff sponsor.
Doug, woo!
like a shuttle that took
Right.
everybody
It was really
out.
fantastic.
So people
Right.
really look forward to both events, and to Kosher Feast is really an event about eating and talking
Right.
and
And we
socializing. So
We
it's
get a lot of our feedback,
Yeah.
of course, from those attendees because we want your feedback. You know, is it good? What do you like? That's how we develop our next plan. So
we look forward to the announcement about Kosher Feast. But yeah, separate from that, sometime this year, and then every year we will be having, whether there is a conference or not, there will be smaller events with education focused, each event on something different. It'll be a few throughout the year because when there's too many events and it's all the same people attending, because we are a small community of kosher food bloggers.
Right, but I find like
it's a lot.
every year I meet someone new.
100%. People are still
Every
joining.
year.
people
It's
always
crazy.
coming
I've
on the
told
scene.
so many young startup companies, or young from kids that want to get into the food world. So you just go to the kosher food bloggers. you
Yeah.
know. I call it the trifecta.
Yeah.
The kosher bloggers, followed that evening by Kosher Feast, and then we all go over to a hotel and stay in New Jersey for Kosher Fest.
Well, that we'll be doing for sure.
That
That's
is
my
for
favorite
sure.
part.
this year,
Yeah.
Liz, can you come?
Sleepovers.
You know, I'll
We'll
consider.
block out a couple.
Yeah.
of
No pressure.
I'll consider
Not
anything.
pressure.
We love to talk about food and,
Fun
what does
and
my
events.
beginner say? Talk about food, shop for food, love for food, everything
Food.
Chop for
food. Yeah, chop for food. I've had a lot of fun doing all this chop
I can't even get over how you manage that schedule.
Yeah,
'Cause I
it's-
went to your chop competition in Queens.
Yeah, at Hashi
with my
Daniel.
mom and my husband.
Rabbi
it was so much
Zakatinsky.
fun. It's such an icebreaker. You bond with people in a food
Under
environment.
pressure.
under pressure.
Under
That's how
pressure.
you-
People are really competitive. It's really funny where it comes out. These meek, mild girls, like you give them a knife, some chicken, and a time frame, they are at it like nobody's business.
Do you remember how serious I was as a judge in Chicago when we were at
Milt's?
We were at Milt's and Naomi hosted a chop competition and I was a judge. We were
Shout
there
out
together.
to
And
Brian.
I took it way too seriously. I'm like taking notes. It was so much fun. You can't help but get into
Judged
it.
a latke contest with teenagers, and I was serious. And the other judges were like, kicking back and just and I thought, wait a minute, how serious should I be? Because some of us are serious.
I went with it. None of my notes went anywhere, but I took them anyways.
Yeah.
Because it was really fun. And the person who won actually was
An unknown.
she
a
was
housewife.
she was someone who wanted to show her kids that she could jump into anything, and she
her.
was so excited and nervous, and she was amazing.
She was good. That balsamic marshmallow sauce over the tuna drizzle.
Yeah, it worked.
Yeah, so
It worked.
That was a fun night. A big shout out to our friend Brian Greiker. executive chef of Milt's, and we're going to be there for Chicago. We're coming to Chef Brachas. So
Bring me back some cornbread.
Yeah, Chicago. Here come the Nachmans. yeah. All right, this has been another extremely fun show. I'm going to not be on the air for 2 weeks, I think. Make sure you, send in for your, I don't know at what point you picked up the show today, but we had 2 giveaways from last week. We're going to run that through the summer, so spread the word. Naomi at nachumsegal.com, and you'll send us in your raffle entries. Okay, so that's a wrap, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Esty Berkowitz, primetimeparenting.com. Liz Rubin, Kosher Like Me. Melinda Strauss from kitchen-tested.com. Naomi Nachman from the Nachum Segal Network signing out for the next 2 weeks. Our show is sponsored by Natural and Kosher Cheeses, but we have music sponsored by our friends at Kedem all the way up to Lich Benching tonight. Wishing you all Shabbat Shalom. Have a great summer. See you in a couple of weeks.